second day, is about identifying who are the primary, we say customers, they could be users. We use it interchangeably. It's common to say persona in this exercise because marketing folks know persona. We try to, but in any particular product or solution, there may be really, frankly, there could be over 100 personas if it's a really complex, problem to solve. And to, spend a session identifying the needs and wants of over 100 folks is just not possible. So we tend to embrace archetypes. And archetypes are basically groupings of personas or people that share common behavior, with the idea that we're in the general neighborhood with the time that we have to identify major users or customers of the groups of the product that share a similar framework.
Yeah, and these are, if you're familiar with personas, it's understanding the who, what they have as pain points as well, and their goals, what they're thinking and feeling. All the
here's an
things.
example. So I'm zooming in, right now, like on a template that we like to use, asking generally who the archetype is. In a persona exercise, you'd zoom right in on they are, level 1 support tech analyst or something like that. But when you're dealing with an archetype, you may be saying the senior manager of the tech support, including, a junior level person. You may be also talking about people that support the supporters. And then we're grouping them all together as one archetype. So we may just pick a umbrella title to kind of globalize, who this person is that we're talking about. And then you'll see that we ask about what are the roles that this group of people do? What's their job? What is their personality? Then we ask them, what are the pains? What are their fears, frustrations, some of the obstacles? This is actually pretty fun because people tend to go to the negative, go to the struggles before they go for the good stuff. And then all of that, what are their hopes, rewards, outcomes? That's the positive stuff. If they're able to solve these pains or address these pains or solve these problems, what are they really striving towards? What makes them get up in the morning? What makes them come to work? And how do they think? And then secondarily, what do they think? What do they say that help, kind of illustrate the points that we ask them to do? So we do these one by one, and then we'll come back together, put them on the wall, look at them. The whole idea of this, of course, is to get to a point where we've got an inventory of characters, if you will. This is where my background as a screenwriter, as a storyteller, going to film school kind of is exciting because you're kind of building characters for a story you're about to tell. And so this can actually be a pretty fun exercise as we start to, empathize with who these people are. And then we give them names.
But the actual archetype should be based on actual kind of people that use your platform.
That's right. And, if the client has done some preliminary research in this area, they've done this analysis. And so they have the information for this pretty well close to heart. But it's still, again, when we put 8 to 10 folks in a room together, decision makers in the room together, and they come from different areas of the company, they may not all have this true to heart. Again, this exercise kind of level sets understanding of, who we're working for, who we're designing for. So it's really great. So we get that done. And then the next thing we do is we start to tell a story about the way things are today. So based on, kind of the problem that we've identified in day one, we go about saying, okay, let's create a story today featuring these characters and explain to me where the problem you've identified in day one manifests itself. And we call it a journey map. And there's different types of journey maps. These are pretty simple in that what we're essentially looking to uncover is, a timeline or a workflow, if you will. It has a beginning, middle, and end. If it's a day in the life type of story, then they get to work in the morning. What's the first thing they do? What's the next thing they do? And we call those story beats.